Hey, true seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Sunday, January 15th, 2017. It's Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Tomorrow, Monday, will be Martin Luther King Jr. Day. When I got up this morning, I was going to make a video on why Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General to Barack Obama who replaced Eric Holder, today she's giving her farewell speech at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, the church that was bombed, reportedly, September 15th, 1963. I was going to make a video on why she is giving that speech today specifically. And the second half of this video that you're watching right now, we're going to talk about that. But the new introduction is why we're reading about the death of Bishop Eddie Long today at age 63. Loretta Lynch speaking in a church later today that was bombed in 63. Now here's Eddie Long, dead at age 63 on this same date. I'm going to show you why this headline is coming today. Eddie Long, if he is truly dead, has not passed naturally from cancer as they're reporting. If this man is really dead, he was murdered as a tribute to the 63 church bombing and as a tribute to Martin Luther King Jr., who died by the numbers, just like Malcolm X. If you've never seen my work on Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, it is undeniable. I have multiple videos on it. I have a free chapter from my book online to read about the deaths of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. It's been there since early in 2016. Let's just start right here, True Seeker. Martin Luther King Jr., born January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. This man dead today. Georgia minister, Georgia megachurch. Martin Luther King Jr. dead April 4th, 1968. Dead by the numbers. The name Eddie Long has the same gematria as Martin Luther King Jr. Just a thought. But it gets a lot more interesting than that. The name Bishop Eddie Long, his title at the megachurch, has gematria of 144. And all throughout history, this is a number connected to killing and assassinations. Malcolm X died by this number. Martin Luther King Jr. died by this number. Bobby Kennedy died by this number. John F. Kennedy died by this number. And so many more. Throughout history, U.S. history, world history, people have died by these numbers again and again. 44 and 144. Do you remember that story from less than a month ago? Supposedly the assassination of the ambassador in Turkey, ambassador to Russia. The building he was killed in had gematria of 144. If you saw that news story, it was 100% fiction. A hoax, a fake killing, a contrived story for the ongoing narratives with tension between the U.S., Russia, the Middle East. The news creates a lot of false propaganda, and that false propaganda very well could connect to the death of this man today. He might be alive for all I know. And if you go back and you watch the interview from years ago of Martin Luther King Jr.'s family just before Christmas, the year he was assassinated, everybody's smiling and laughing and talking about how they know they're going to get to see Daddy again. I have a feeling that Martin Luther King Jr. didn't really die. You know, he gave that speech April 3rd at Mason Temple saying, that this might be the end. He might have already been to the mountaintop, given away the night before his assassination that he might die soon. He might have really been murdered or he might have faked it. You watch his family's interview from before Christmas that year. Looks like they're telling you they get to see him again. And they're not talking about like in heaven. It's just like they're talking like they're going to get to see him again soon. He was in Mason Temple. And we're going to be talking about what we've been talking about for 3 years straight on this channel. The Freemasons run the show in this world. Staging the news, murdering people, having people fake their deaths. Anyway, Bishop Eddie Long, 144. Just like when you write out 44, it sums to 144. Just like when you write out April 4th, the date Martin Luther King Jr. died on, it sums to 144. 4/4 is that date as you write it by hand. 4/4 April 4th, a lot like 44. They're saying he died from cancer. Cancer equals 44, like chemo, like kill. And again, these numbers all throughout history connected to death again and again. There are 2 states in the United States with the gematria 44. They are Georgia and Wisconsin. This man in Georgia, just like it being Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthplace. MLK from Atlanta on the 33rd parallel. Today's date has 33 numerology, which we'll get to. Number of sacrifice. The initials of this man, E.L., Eddie Long. E is the 5th letter. L is the 12th letter. 1 plus 2 in numerology is 3. So E is 5, L is 3. E.L., 5-3, a lot like the word religion. E.L., ancient name for God, the deity God, E.L. Ancient religions. Today's date, January 15th, 2017, the date he has passed, reportedly. A date with 53 numerology. Religious leader, E.L., dead on the date with 53 numerology. He was also reportedly born in 53, the year. Today's date, January 15th, it can be written 15/1, a lot like 151. Jesus Christ equals 151. Something interesting about that, 151 is the 36th prime number. If you count every number 1 through 36 and add them together, it sums to 666, the number of the beast from Revelation. Interesting how that syncs up with Jesus Christ. The end of the Bible talks about the man with wisdom will calculate the number of the beast. Jesus reportedly crucified at age 33 on the cross. Today's date has the 33 numerology, as well as 53 numerology. His church was also a Baptist church. Baptist in gematria is 33. Again, today's date, dead on 33 numerology. The name of the church was the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. The full name in gematria, look at it, it says it had at its peak 25,000 members. That's a huge following. The New Birth Missionary Baptist Church equals 155, just like Christianity. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the church was made, the name, with gematria. Mostly in this nation, most ministers are connected to Freemasonry, York Rite or Scottish Rite. Seems that most ministers, church-going people, are in the York Rite of Freemasonry. But Freemasonry up at the top, they know gematria. They practice gematria. This is an ancient knowledge gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And just think about this. These spiritual leaders, they know about this, but they never share it with their people. Why? How many people at this church knew that their church name was encoded with gematria matching Christianity? So here's Eddie Long, born Eddie Lee Long, May 12, 1953. Born in North Carolina, had his church in Georgia, not too far away. His full name, Eddie Lee Long, gematria of 61, just like the word church. How perfect is that? Eddie Lee Long, the leader of the megachurch. Today, the day he died, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, to May 12th, what would have been his 64th birthday. Remember, civil rights equals 64. Barack Hussein Obama equals 64. The Civil Rights Act in 64. Obama, the 44th president, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. 44, the number stamped on the deaths of MLK, Malcolm X, leaders of the civil rights movement. From January 15th to May 12th is 118 days, number for death. Today he dies. Number we see again and again connected to death. Part of the reason in February of 2016 I said Prince better watch his ass. We might be reading about his death next. His name equaled 118. It was coded into the death of Vanity, his former girlfriend. After she died, I said, Prince better watch out. 2014, I said, Muhammad Ali better watch out at age 74. We'll probably see him die then. That's because Muhammad equals 74, like Jesus equals 74, like cross equals 74. Muhammad Ali this year died on June 3rd, 63 days before the start of the Summer Olympics. The Prophet Muhammad died at age 63, just like this man today. When you count every number 1 through 63 and add them together, it sums to 2016. This man who died today turned 63 in 2016. Muhammad Ali passed in 2016. With regards to the Summer Olympics, the reason that's relevant is Muhammad Ali equals 96. Muhammad Ali opened the 96 games in Atlanta. Remember the torch ceremony? Down on the 33rd parallel. Muhammad Ali died this year on the 33rd parallel in Phoenix. Phoenix and Atlanta, two biggest cities in the nation on the 33rd parallel. So anyway, this man, Eddie Lee Long, born May 12, 1953. That's a date with 89 numerology. Has all the numbers you see. All this numerology connected to that date. The 89 stands out the most. The 26 stands out as well. But look, he was born on a date with 89 numerology, died on a date with 53 numerology. Those are the gematria for the word religion, 89 and 53. 26 and 17, he had those connected to his birth and death. The word God equals 17 and 26. If you count every number 1 through 17 and add them together, they sum to 153. If you count every number 1 through 26 and add them together, they sum to 351, the reflection of 153. Special numbers. We'll be talking about 153 and Loretta Lynch in just a moment. CNN, their front page right now, Bishop Eddie Long dies. This headline has gematria of 181, a reshuffling of 118, those numbers for death. But 181 is also the 42nd prime, number stamped on black people throughout history. There's a reason Jackie Robinson wore 42. Black History Month is February, the only month with a 42 gematria. The most hateful word for black people sums to 42. Brothers, the slang equals 42. The word bus is 42. Think about black history on the bus. So much more. But anyhow, 42 also very relevant to the Bible. The original published Bibles were called 42-line Bibles. 42-line Bibles. New Testament in gematria equals 42. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations leading up to Jesus. This coding is all the work of the Freemasons. The Bible as we know it in English, you might as well just throw it out because it's all edited, it's all changed. You have no idea what was originally written in that text. And in truth, you have no idea who really wrote that text. You know, you can choose to believe all day what you've been told, but why? Why would you believe anything in this world? If you actually pull the wool off your eyes, you realize all that's ever happened to you in this world, from the positions of authority where you've been taught about things such as Christianity, if you realize all you've ever received are lies. You've been lied to about your history, which doesn't make any sense. You live here in the United States, you went to school where they told you Christopher Columbus arrived here, he called the people who lived here Indian, and then he was credited with the discovery of the land. I mean, that story should have never made sense to you. How can somebody come to a place where people already live and be the one who discovered it? That doesn't make any sense. Nothing about your history makes any sense. Your entire history is just like the story of Christopher Columbus, CC 33, sent over by the Catholic Church, the other CC. Your whole history is made up hogwash by Freemasons, Zionists, Jesuits, all meant to control your mindset, make you believe in their nonsense. The word believe has that word lie right in the middle. The word believe equals 33. Number of Freemason obsession. So anyway, that's how CNN paid their 42 tribute. Of course, CNN broadcast out of Georgia, Atlanta, so this story near and dear to them. Probably part of the reason it's the front page this morning. Let's just see if Fox News, for example, has this as their front page. Check MSNBC too. Fox News has Mike Pence. Mike Pence equals 45. Here's what I love about Mike Pence and Donald Trump. Donald Trump equals 48. Mike Pence equals 45. Donald Trump's the 45th president. Mike Pence is the 48th vice president. And their names point to each other. MSNBC has something different. But CNN down in Georgia, this story a little bit closer for them, maybe their audience. So let's jump into the other part of this. Today, Loretta Lynch, the first black female attorney general. She had the record for the longest it's ever taken to be sworn in as an attorney general. You can go back and watch my older videos on the process of her being sworn in. Everything about it was by the numbers. Big, long ritual. But today, she's giving her final speech at the 16th Street Baptist Church, which was bombed September 15th, 1963. I was getting up this morning to make this video, and then I saw the death of this man at 63 on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I said, you gotta be kidding me. So, from 63 to 2017, 54 years. The name Loretta Lynch, 54. Well, the 54-year anniversary will happen September 15th, right? It's 53 years and some months since it actually happened. And here Loretta Lynch is in the building today, a date with 53 numerology. Loretta Lynch, using the alphabetic order, sums to 153. Today's date also has a life lesson number of 26. The word Lynch equals 26. Date with 33 numerology. If you read about the rosary, just show you this real quick. If you read about the rosary, which is important to the Catholic faith, whole lot of 53 and 153 with the rosary. And Loretta Lynch's name, again, sums to 153. Here we are on a date with 53 numerology. All of this stuff has much to do with religion, and she's speaking in a church. And with regards to the Hail Mary and 153, what's real interesting about that is in the Bible, in John, there's the miraculous catch of 153 fish. The word fish has gematria of 42. So does the name Hail Mary. They both sum to 42. And in this study of gematria, you see how often they pair 42 and 153 together. Spiritual numbers. Numbers connected to religion, and numbers that become a lot more obvious when you decode words with, your gematria goggles. So anyhow, this coming on a date with 33 numerology, it was the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. 16 equals 33. Today's also January 15th. 1 plus 15, 16, False flag equals 33. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing never happened. Just like many things in history have never really happened. They've just been reported to provoke people, to divide them, to anger them. It's also possible they actually did it. But no matter what happened, understand it was your government that had a hand in it. It was your government that planned it. Remember what government means. Government means mind control. So many people have been duped into thinking their government's here to make their life better or help them. No, not at all. Your government's here to enslave you, to trap you into an agenda, just as most people are in America, trying to keep up paycheck to paycheck, living under lies their whole life, being poisoned by their own government in a million ways. So anyway, 33. When you write out 16, it equals 33. False flag equals 33. Federal 33. Order 33. Secrecy 33. Masonry 33. Whole lot more. Special number. Her full title, U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch, has gematria of 130 like Washington. Somebody the other day said that the thing between 13 and 33, 130, take the zero off the end, you're right back to 13. Somebody was pointing out the other day, the reason that 13 and 33 are so important to Freemasonry is because 13 symbolically is just like 1/3, which is 33.3%. I don't know that that's true. There's a lot more to 13 than that. But it is an interesting observation, so I'll just share it this morning. 13 and 33, we know they're very important to Freemasonry, the history of this nation. 13 a third, 33.3%. It's interesting. Loretta Lynch, she was born May 21st, 1959. She's currently 57 years old. I wonder if we'll see Loretta Lynch ever on the Supreme Court. Attorney General, maybe in the future, Supreme Court. I wonder how Republicans would feel if Loretta Lynch got appointed to the Supreme Court by Donald Trump. There's a vacancy right now. 8 people on the Supreme Court. Trump coming into office. Trump equals 88. And just think about how stupid this is, that there's still a vacancy. Antonin Scalia died February 13th, almost a year ago. So the Supreme Court has not been able to function for almost a year. And why hasn't it? Because the Republicans, they made a big hooey in the media saying that it wasn't right for Obama to get to appoint another Supreme Court justice in his final year. What? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. If the Supreme Court's supposed to have an uneven member count so that they can do their votes, then shouldn't it be a priority to get the 9th person in there and find the most qualified person for the job? Of course, in this nation, it's all a show. The Supreme Court's all a show. Your president's all a show. Your Congress is all a show. Who really runs this nation are bankers, industrialists, and no one else. They just have all these other puppet positions they own to put on the show and dupe the masses and keep them fighting over nonsense. But anyway, I just wonder if we could see Loretta Lynch end up on the Supreme Court. Her being born in 59. If you saw my earlier work when they were first appointing Loretta Lynch, you couldn't find her birthday anywhere. Her birthday was not anywhere. Her birthday did not exist when she was first being appointed. And it just made me wonder, is there even such a person? Is this Loretta Lynch person even real? I mean, listen to the name, Lynch. A black person, your first attorney general, you're going to get someone named Lynch? I mean, look at the symbolism. It's all part of a sick joke. Loretta Lynch is probably another actor agent name, just like Barack Hussein Obama. Have these people start their political careers, give them a new name, new identity, new birthday, just all playing their part. Loretta Lynch, the black woman. But anyway, born in 59, they tell us. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Motown Records came out in 59. February ends on the 28th day, the 59th day of the year, Black History Month. From her past birthday, her 57th, to today, the day of the speech, is 239 days, special number to the history of this nation. The flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street. The flag is 239 years old this year. The reason it's so special to this nation is because this nation was found by Jewish Zionists, Kabbalists, who study these numbers. And 239 has a lot of representation for the Jewish faith. Torah equals 239. Golden Gate equals 239. The Jewish people believe the Messiah will arrive through the Golden Gate. 239 is the 52nd prime number. Government 52, White House 52. She was the lawyer for the White House, serving the federal government. 52, also the number of prophecy. The Freemasons, the Zionists, they're living out a man-made prophecy, edited into the book of Revelation. So many people think we're living in the end times and the signs are happening, that Jesus is about to return. What these people don't realize is who they've made God are the false Jews, the same ones that are written about in Revelation that will rule in the end times according to that book. We are living out a long-planned agenda. And these people have written about the things that will happen, the signs, and then they contrive those stories to give people, who are somewhat awake, but believing through this false text, they give them these riddles, these stories to make people think Jesus is about to return any second, giving them false hope, keeping them on their knees with their hands folded while the tyrants continue to rule over the day. Loretta Lynch, her full birth name is Loretta Elizabeth Lynch. Look at this. Her full name equals 241, which is the 53rd prime number, the prime number that comes right after 239. 239 days from her birthday, her name's 241, the next prime number. Prime numbers in gematria sums to 153, like Loretta Lynch as well. Again, today's date has the 53 numerology that she's giving her final speech. See how it's all synced up and planned? Here is the date of the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. If this story is all made up, it'd be interesting to find out who these 4 little girls really are. If it's all made up, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these 4 little girls really is Loretta Lynch. It would mean that they changed Loretta Lynch's age because she would have only been 4 years old at the time. But that'd be easy to do. I mean, when you get older, it's hard to tell how old you are. You take care of yourself, you could look like you're 50 when really you're in your 60s. You don't take care of yourself, you could look like you're 70 and you're only in your early 50s. And it's true, Truth Seeker. When I moved into this house, one of my neighbors is an elderly woman who cleans houses. She reminds me an awful lot of my own mom. And my mom's cleaned houses her whole life. And this older woman who I help out all the time because she's small and frail and alone. For all the years that I helped her, I thought she was much older than my mother. I thought maybe she was at least 10 years older than my mother. Turns out that this woman is 5 years younger than my own mom. I couldn't believe it the day I found that out. I thought, oh my God, this woman's younger than my mom? My mom looks so much younger than this woman. Similar lives. They've been cleaning, working hard, stressful relationships. The difference is this woman, who I live next to, she was an alcoholic for a lot of her life, drank a lot of alcohol, smoked. My mom's never really drank or smoked, but anyway, you want to see how much alcohol can age you over time? I'd like to show you this woman and my mother. And really the only point I'm trying to make here is you really can't tell how old people are once you get to a certain age based on how you've lived. So if Loretta Lynch is, 10 years older than what it says in her made-up birthday, which it likely is, who's to know? Also, from the anniversary, the 53-year anniversary of this bombing to today is 123 days, 17 weeks and 4 days. Conspiracy equals 123. That's 17 and 4 is a lot like 174. New World Order equals 174. Supreme Court, the big way, equals 174. I got a hunch we're going to end up seeing Loretta Lynch on the Supreme Court at some point. She might not be the next appointment, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's there someday. Also, today, the church, it's in Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham equals 58. Freemasonry, 58. Secret Society, Annuit Coeptus, what's on the dollar bill. God favors the Freemasonic undertaking, pretty much what that means. United States also has the gematria, 58. So here, one last point. Covered this many times before, but I just want to make sure people remember. The date of the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing was a date with 106 numerology. The word prophecy equals 106, alphabetic order, or 52 the small way like we talked about. When the Charleston Church shooting hoax first happened, and it was absolutely a hoax, they had this fire truck pulled up out front, E106, and not only that, this fire truck was flying the Tea Party flag. The Tea Party flag. Tea Party equals 106. I said then, this is no doubt a tribute to the 1963 Baptist church bombing. 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, 1963, date with 106 numerology. Then you get the Charleston Church shooting, similar type incident, white supremacist attacking a black church, coding this same number on it. It's because over time, the Freemasons have been doing the same things by the same numbers. Staging incidents for divide and conquer, breeding hate, breeding division. Those are the Freemason mottos. Order out of chaos, divide and conquer. Stage a scene, create a solution, create a problem to serve your agenda. everything about the Dylann Storm Roof trial, everything about it by the numbers. It just ended on January 10th with him getting the death sentence, 110, like 110. The shooting was at 110 Calhoun Street. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. Osama bin Laden equals 110. These are numbers that they use. 110 pretty much just represents 11, the master number. You know, number of the one world order, one world agenda, 2 single digits, 11, the power of 1 magnified. So I think we covered it all, Truth Seeker. You know, murder by numbers, rituals by numbers. It's all being put on by the Freemasons. Another relevant word, gematria, for today, January 15th, 115. The word killing in Jewish gematria is 115. The word Freemasons, the plural, is also 115. Something else I noticed about Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, he was born on a date with 64 numerology, Civil Rights 64, again the Civil Rights Act in 64. If you want a gematria calculator to help you out with this study, I'll link this in the description. You want to use the English ordinal for the alphabetic order, and you want to use the English reduction for the compression method. This is where civil rights is 64. This is where the name Barack Hussein Obama is 64. So much more. So I'll link that down in the description along with these blog posts if you want to read over them. Until next time, Truth Seeker.